Welcome back, everybody, to the Dragon's Lair. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Let's Talk, where we talk about Warhammer 40k. And I'm going to talk about Raveners and hyper-adapted Raveners. So this is the new layout, but it's kind of like two different units that work together. So let's go through it quickly so we can get it all. Brand new Raveners. They're moving 10, which is great. Tough 5, which is pretty okay. 4 plus save, which is trash. They're going to get shot up. 3 wounds apiece, which might be okay. Leadership 8, doesn't matter if they're in Synops. Excuse me. OC1, not great, but you're not really using them to hold objectives anyways. So, Raveners is all about combining rules together. So, their weapons, 3 attacks apiece, which is down. Used to be 7 attacks apiece. Weapon skill 3, pretty good. Strength 5, which is actually going to be 6s, because with hyper-adapted Raveners, that'll go up to 6 because they'll be in Synops. So this is what I'm talking about combining rules, which means you're now wounding Terminators on 3 and other elite infantry on 3, which is pretty good, instead of 4s. Speaking of wounding them on 3s, it's twin linked. So any 2s or 1s that you get, you'll get to reroll, which is good because rerolls convert up an additional 25% statistically. AP2, which is pretty good, and 2 damage, which is pretty good. These guys are going to shred Space Marines, which is pretty awesome, which means they're going to shred Guardsmen, which means they're going to do really well versus Orc Boys and Espec Warriors and Necron Warriors. It's going to be pretty good. They have Deep Strike, which is good, so use them in your Subterranean Assault to create your burrow points. They benefit from Synops. When it's in faction, it benefits from Synops. And Death from Below, at the end of an opponent's turn, if this unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, you can remove it from the battlefield. Sorry, I've got something in my throat. Put it back in strategic reserves. This is what they call uppy downy. So if you go to a tournament and your opponent says, do you have any uppy downy? That's what they're talking about with this. If you go into a sort of subterranean assault with these, keep in mind you would be rerolling all hit rolls of 1. So rerolling hit rolls of 1 and rerolling wounds, pretty good. 5 models, 125 points. This is where they start to price out for 5 of them. Infantry, Great Devourer, Vanguard Invader, which could be useful in Vanguard Invader because then they could move, advance, and assault. Burrowers and Raveners. So they got stripped down. And they're pretty gosh darn basic right now, which is not terrible, but it's all about combining them. My mouse stopped working. With the hyper-adapted Raveners. And one thing that's really important about the hyper-adapted Raveners, so that second little image that I brought up, which is, I'm terrible pointing here now, that's the second page. And what's important there is only one of them has a Venom Bolt. Not all of them. One Ravener is equipped with a Venom Bolt. So keep that in mind, because they're meant to double as a unit in 40k, but also a unit in Kill Team. And I'm really happy that we can use them in both, because I think hyper-adapted Raveners are really cool. So quickly, the Prime or the regular Raveners, you know, they move 10, toughness 5, 4 plus save, trash. It's good that the Prime has 6 wounds. The others, you know, have a standard 3. It has a better leadership, which I guess is cool because you're rolling 3d6 and then trying to get a 7 because the Ravener Prime has Synops. Little redundant there, I guess. The Venom Bolt is kind of cool. You know, it's assault, so move, advance, and shoot. It ignores cover. It's Torrent, 12 inches, d6 plus 3. You're always going to hit with it. Strength 6, which is good. AP 1, not great. 1 damage, not great. but that's not what you're there for. The melee weapons, however, anti-monster and anti-vehicle 5, twin-linked. So remember, this is rolling to wound. So with anti, if you roll to wound and you get a 5 or a 6, you're going to get criticals. You're going to get criticals on a 6 always anyways, but... So what's kind of important there is the math hammer. So you roll to get your wounds. You do not succeed, then you'd get to re-roll. And when you re-roll, statistically, you're 25% more likely to succeed. So take that into effect. The Prime's got 6 attacks where the regulars have 3. It's still weapon skill 1. It's still strength 6 because the Ravener Prime is a synapse. Look all the way down here at the bottom. Down here. It says Ravener Prime character synapse. That means he gives synapse. So protect him. And then it's pretty standard with a AP2, 2 damage. They also have Deep Strike, but they have Leader, which means they can lead a unit of Raveners. So now you have a 10-man with a Prime leading them, which is pretty gosh darn okay. So Shadow on the Warp, it's the Prime only. They benefit from Synapse. Alpha Invader, weapons equipped by models in this unit have sustained hits 1. So every time... Whoa! Every time you would roll a 5 or a 6, I just picked this out because anti-vehicle means you crit, a critical wound, and sustained hits activates on a critical wound. This got it a little bit better than what I thought it was. So anytime you'd roll a 5 or a 6 to wound a monster or a vehicle, you're going to get an additional hit. Nope. It's only to hit because sustained hits is on hits. I was wrong. Anyways, Hypersensory Array, once per battle round, you can target this unit with a rapid ingress or a heroic intervention stratagem or for 0 CP, and you can do so even if you've already targeted a different unit with a stratagem this turn. It's kind of cool because you can rapid ingress them under certain circumstances on turn 1 and create a pop-up hole that the rest of your army is going to pour out of. There's a bunch of subterranean assault shenanigans there to look at. Go ahead and check out my subterranean assault video. My final verdict is I think they're pretty cool. I'm not going to take them. I have better things. So for 300 some points, I have better things that will probably last longer and will probably do more damage. I don't know. I want to like them. They're really cool. The models are super cool. I want to like their rules. The Anti-Monster 5 and Anti-Vehicle 5 twin-linked sounds really good. I think you could also take them just for them. Don't just leave off the regular Raveners and take the hyper-adapted Raveners, especially if you're looking for more Burrowers, because Subterranean Assault kind of depends on Burrowers. So you might want to think about that. Yeah, and deep striking a 10-man, especially with their base size, is kind of rough. So keep that in mind. Also, pulling a 10-man out of the hole with their base size and their model count is kind of rough. The movement 10 is really good. I would take a unit of just 5 of them. I might even take 2 units of 5. Also, depending on how many holes that I need. I think they're really cool. I'm happy that we're getting new units like this. And I'm happy that they're usable in both Kill Team and the regular game. I do think they're really cool. I think the model sculpts are really, really neat. And I just love them. I might get some just to have some, whether I use them or not. Keep in mind they're infantry, so they're going to be moving through walls. And you could really use them in your Vanguard Invader to move, advance, and assault. Because that might actually be pretty gosh darn helpful. And they're providing synapse, more synapse on the table. So I think in the end, I think they're cool. I don't know if I'll ever use them. Anyways, thank you for listening. We here at the Dragon's Lair want to say thank you for spending your time with us at the Dragon's Lair.